Good evening. This is James Burrell. Today I'll be doing discussion board number 2 on Molly Pitcher. Molly Pitcher is a great example of women filling in and excelling when given the chance to. Who was Molly Pitcher? From my research, there was no one named Molly Pitcher. Molly Pitcher was a character that represented many women. A variety of women who served with the Continental Army, such as Deborah Sampson and Margaret Corbin, could be called Molly Pitcher. These women were trendsetters in the male-dominated era, but their story does not match up with the story of Molly Pitcher. So who was she? Well, the legend of Molly Pitcher is one that begins with her running water out to the men on the fields during battle. This was a dangerous job, but by some accounts, there was one woman who was particularly good at this, and her name was Mary Hayes. Mary Hayes was of German descent and was actually born Mary Ludwig in 1754. By the age of 14, she was married to Barbara John Hayes. To most who knew her, Mary Ludwig Hayes was tough. The National Archive website stated that Mary was described by the men in her company as a 22-year-old illiterate pregnant woman who smoked, chewed tobacco, and swore as well as any of the male soldiers. It is said that the Battle of Monmouth is where the legend began for Molly Pitcher. During this battle, Mary Ludwig Hayes gave water to the men on the field of battle. Eventually, her husband John Hayes was injured at his cannon, or some say he had a heat stroke at his cannon, and she took over his spot at the cannon. Now, Private Joseph Plum Martin, a soldier in the Continental Army, has an account of Mary Ludwig Hayes' time at the cannon. Martin wrote a book, Ordinary Courage, The Revolutionary War Adventures of Joseph Plum Martin, that while operating the cannon, her husband's cannon, a cannon shot from the enemy passed directly between her legs without doing any other damage than carrying away all the lower part of her petticoat. Looking at it with apparent unconcern, she observed that it was lucky it did not pass a little higher, for in that case, it might have been carried away something else and continued her occupation. Because of her deeds, she received personal thanks from George Washington. Eventually, in 1822, she would file with Pennsylvania legislature that she should receive an annual commission for the rest of her life. The commission was $40. After her death in 1833, she became a legendary figure, and a monument was later erected at her burial site in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Today, she has a monument also erected at the Battle of Monmouth in her honor. In conclusion, I believe the legend of Molly Pitcher was based on Mary Ludwig Hayes' story, and not Margaret Corbin and Deborah Sampson. I think this is a fascinating story because sometimes the heroics of women are overlooked during times of war, even in early American history. According to the archives.gov website, hundreds, perhaps thousands of women served not only as ammunition wives, manning and firing guns, but also in the army and colonial militia. These women cannot be forgotten. The story of Molly Pitcher shows the heroics of Mary Ludwig Hayes and also solidifies the stories of Margaret Corbin and Deborah Sampson. Thank you.